Sup people, Red Vince here, and welcome back to the Spotlight. As you may have noticed, I'm not exactly in the best of moods right now, because today, the Spotlight is on one of the biggest punchlines in music, or just in general, Justin Bieber.
Okay, to be fair, the guy does have many legions of fans, also known as Beliebers, but between his terrible music and beyond douchey behavior, I have no idea why. This guy is such a douchebag that WatchMojo.com made an entire top 10 list about why people don't like him.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, there are plenty of other celebrity douchebags out there, like Kanye West, Axl Rose, and Chris Brown, but none of them have had entire top 10 lists made about them, at least not that I know of. A small part of me does feel a little bad for him with all the shit he gets, but only a little, because, let's be honest people, he usually brings it on himself. I never cared for the guy when he first became famous, but now I think he's one of the biggest pricks I've ever seen.
And throughout this video, I'll hopefully give you a few examples as to why.
So apparently this guy got discovered on YouTube, but I never saw a single video of his back then. I never even heard of him until I saw a commercial about an episode for the Nickelodeon show True Jackson VP, where Bieber was apparently going to be a guest star. I never saw the episode, but based off the commercial, I didn't think Bieber was going to become anyone that big. I thought he was just going to be one of those people that's big with the preteen/middle school audience, but known to pretty much no one else.
Boy, was I wrong.
Bieber has sadly become one of the most famous people on earth, and one of the biggest names in music today, despite the fact that his music sucks. Granted, I haven't listened to every song he's ever done. I don't think I'd be able to survive that. But I have heard the majority of his singles, and I haven't enjoyed a single one of them in the least. Eeny Meeny, One Time, Boyfriend, and especially Baby, all these songs completely blow in my opinion. And even though there are plenty of Bieber songs I haven't heard before, I highly doubt I'd like any of them either. Maybe he does have a few good songs under his belt, I highly doubt it, but if he does, I have yet to hear it.
But it's one thing to make crappy music. What he's like as a person is another thing. And like I said, Bieber is apparently such a prick that he's done enough for Watch Mojo to make an entire top 10 list about him. So, let's take a look at some of these deeds, shall we?
Taking a piss in a janitor's bucket because he's apparently too good to use a urinal like everyone else. Getting totally wasted, going drag racing, and then mouthing off to the cops after getting busted for it. Abandoning his pet monkey because he didn't have the right paperwork to bring it into Germany. And having his bodyguards carry him up the Great Wall of China because he can't be bothered to walk himself, just to name a few. And worst of all, the fact that he spit on his own fans. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, to be fair, this one was apparently never proved to have actually happened. But with all the other crap he's done, would you really put it past him? However, the number one reason on their list for all the hate was his attitude. And yeah, it's kind of hard to argue that. For all the crappy things he's done, the one thing they all seem to have in common is that throughout it all, he's had this smugness about him. A sense that he thinks he's better than everyone else. I mean, how many of the things he's done has he actually apologized for? Or even acknowledged that he was out of line? Not that many. Even the few that he did apologize for were supposedly because his manager or PR guy or whoever told him to do it. I don't think he's ever apologized out of his own free will. And do I even need to bring up all the times he's tried to act like a tough guy? Please. Bieber, quit acting like you're some kind of badass. You're about as intimidating as Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, so with all that being said, does Bieber have any redeeming qualities? Well, actually, I will say he's at least willing to make fun of himself.
Not too long ago, there was a Comedy Central roast about him. And let's just say the roasters were brutal. Some of these jokes include, Bieber is like a baby because he pisses everywhere and never knows when to shut the fuck up. Bieber hasn't made an album in a while. If you listen closely, you can hear the sound of One Direction fucking all his fans. Bieber has made so many horrible and unwatchable videos he should change his name to Vanilla Isis. And the most brutal of all in my opinion, Bieber has the moves that he does because he spent his time in the womb dodging coat hangers.
Holy crap! That is harsh!
If you dislike Bieber as much as I do, you'll enjoy watching this roast just to see him get verbally kicked in the teeth for an hour and a half. Yet, throughout it all, Bieber surprisingly sat there and took it like a man. In fact, not only did he take it, he was actually laughing along with the majority of the jokes. He even poked fun at himself at the end of it, where the roastee gets to roast everyone else. And some of his jokes weren't that bad either. But the thing that really stands out about this entire roast was his idea. I don't know if this goes for every roast Comedy Central does, but Bieber himself wanted to do this roast and have all these people brutally riff on him. And at the end of it all, he made this speech about how he's sorry for all the crap he's done, how he was never ready for the life of fame he has, and how he claims to be a better person from this point forward. And, to be fair, he does have a point. The life of a celebrity can't be easy, and can potentially have some kind of negative effect on a person that can lead them to become someone unlikable, especially when you're thrown into it as a kid. I mean, heck, look what happened to Lindsay Lohan. But unlike Lohan, Bieber was hated pretty much from the moment he became famous. Even before he became a total asshole, for every fan Bieber had, he had at least a dozen haters. He was pretty much a walking punchline from the get-go. And all the obnoxious behavior just took it from bad to worse. Come to think of it, you ever think all the hate he got turned him into the douchebag he is today? I'm just saying, being both a kid and the least liked name in music can't mix well. No wonder he turned out this way.
So do I believe him? Well, kinda.
A part of me wants to give him the benefit of the doubt because what he said did seem genuine enough, and on top of that, I just don't think anyone would be stupid enough to make a promise like that and then continue to act like an asshole. And again, it did take some serious guts to make fun of himself and be willing to have all these other people do it too, let alone so brutally. But on the other hand, I get the feeling that whether he meant it or not, his closing speech was, again, written by his manager or someone else, and not actually Bieber himself. I feel like what he said is what he was told to say, and not actually from the heart. On top of that, he's done so many shitty things, I doubt we've seen the last of them. And I know nobody changes overnight or anything, but I'm just saying, we'll probably see one or two more moments where Bieber puts another giant target on his back. So do I think he can turn over a new leaf? Sure. And a small part of me kind of hopes he does. But do I think he actually will? Honestly, I doubt it. At least not anytime soon. But then again, you never know. Only time will tell, I guess.
And that concludes this episode of The Spotlight. What do you think of Justin Bieber? Are you a believer? Or does he just get under your skin like he does me? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always, if you like this video, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Until next time, this is Red Vince signing out.